Hi, I'm Erin, one of the owners of Let's Dive. I'm East Coast Erin, the one that you hear about that does the stuff over here on the East Coast. So I'm here today with Mark, one of our wonderfully blessed guys that has so much experience. And we're here today to talk about what he has to offer. So let's start with your name and where you're from.
Well, I live in St. Petersburg, and my name is Mark Sommer. I'm also an SSI IT
All
and a
right,
PADI Master Scuba Diver trainer.
great.
And
So
I teach
those are your
between
the
the
top.
two about 40 or 50 different specialties.
Great. That's a lot. That's a lot. And that's a real asset to any shop. So what do you do for Let's Dive? What is your what so you said you have about 40 different specialties you can teach. So what do you do for Let's Dive on a daily basis?
Well, if you could look behind me, I am the repair gnome in my little hovel here, and I fix things. I fix everything from rebreathers to open circuit equipment from many, many different brands.
Can you tell us some of the brands that you're certified to repair for?
Well, the ones that I do the Atomic, which we carry. I do the Poseidon and the rebreathers, which we carry. Uh, I've done Tusa. I've done Scuba Pro. I've done Aqualung. I've done Mares. Trying to.
That's quite a list already. That's a lot. That's good to know though, because that's all the brands that we carry pretty much, and also some others. So you're definitely able to help all of our customers that have pretty much any brand. So that's a good asset for us. So um, let me ask you this: how long have you been diving?
Well, my my uncle first took me diving when I was very young, in '57. We eventually they said, "I do you have a C card?" A C card? Oh, so in '68 I got certified. And then
1968,
in
you got certified.
'72, the Navy taught me how to dive on rebreathers. And in '74, I was diving rebreathers on helium mixtures. And I actually spent several months working on rebreather research with Naval Experimental Diving Unit.
So when did you become an SSI instructor, trainer, and a PADI instructor?
I became an SSI instructor, I believe in 2003. I became an instructor trainer in 2012. And I believe it was 2015 that I became a PADI instructor. I'm also instructor with several other agencies. One of the ones I'm very proud of is I'm also a dive hard instructor. So we teach people where we have to adapt all the way up blind, deaf, quadriplegic, paraplegic. We teach them how to dive.
That's a wonderful association. Is there any other instructor qualifications that you have for any other associations?
Well, one of the ones that I carry, which is with international training, which is SDI, TDI, is the VIP course. So I'm eligible to teach the VIP. Also, part of that program is one they call Advanced Thread, and that has to do with using visual eddy currents. So I actually can teach people who are interested in learn how to properly use a visual eddy current.
Great. All
And
around. You got it all
I
covered,
do,
right?
I do have the device. I just have
Yeah.
to
Okay.
bring it
So how
in.
many do you have any idea how many certifications you've done over the years?
Well, if we take all the different agencies,
Yeah.
probably
All
300.
all together. Wow, that's quite a lot. That's great. What's your favorite class to teach?
Wow.
Sorry, that's kind of a hard question.
I like teaching lots of them, but one of the most enjoyable is actually the open water because this is opening the door to the underwater world and the expressions and joy that I see people getting out of it. On the other side of the coin, actually seeing someone who is in a wheelchair swimming right next to me, that's an awful big joy too.
That's a great thing to see. That's wonderful.
Actually, I
So
had to tell him to slow down. We have one of our ambassadors who I had to say, slow down, you're out swimming the guy with fins on.
that's funny. So what is your favorite place to dive? Your favorite place that you've ever dove? Can be anywhere in
Actually,
the world.
the, of the places that I dive that most people are able to dive, one of my favorite places is Eagle's Nest. And part of it is, the biggest part is it's a challenging dive. You have to be alert. You have to plan your dive. You have to plan your gases. You have to be thinking about what you're doing the entire dive. And just take a 20-minute bottom time. I may be doing 230, 280 feet. So I have to be thinking, because if I'm off a minute, that can change my gas and ascent time from 20 minutes more. And I may not have enough gas. So it really causes you to plan, think about what you're doing. And then when something comes up, like a little bit of a current or something that's unexpected, you plan for the contingency. So it's the type of the way I learned to dive long ago. You have to be thinking about what you're doing. You can't just zone out. But I get to see things that are 100 million years or old or more, or even 250. There's sand dollars like that
That
in
you
the
see
rock.
in Eagle's Nest. Nice.
So yes, it's a place that doesn't get a lot of traffic because there's not many people that know how to dive below 200 feet.
Right. So your favorite place to dive is definitely a technical diving site. So that's great for anybody that's interested in tech diving, because Mark has a wealth of knowledge about that as well. So he can teach anything you need to know, and he has great stories on all dive sites, including Eagle's Nest, which I would also like to see one day. Um, do you have any famous last words for us? Anything you want to impart of your infinite knowledge?
Well, one of the things that I see both as a repair and as an instructor is learn how to properly pre-dive your equipment. Make sure it's ready to go diving before you get in the water. And I know I teach, and I know Joe teaches certain pre-dive checks to our students that if they don't check out, don't dive. And the other hardest thing for me to teach is something's not right, and it could be anything. Give a thumbs up, end the dive. Probably one of the best things I know. Drove 2 hours up to Eagle's Nest, took an hour and a half getting our kit all together. The surface water, the visibility was not real great, but we staged one of our deco tanks. My dive buddy and I, where it normally started clearing up, got to 40 feet. The visibility was less than we wanted, and we almost at the same time went to this. We were planning a 270-foot dive. Nope, not acceptable, end the dive. That's the hardest thing to get people to do, saying, I just paid all this money to come out here, I'm going to dive. No.
No.
Being able to say, call the dive. So
Great.
that's the best advice, is being able to have the judgment to call the dive.
Wonderful. Well, thank you very much for taking the time today to give us a little tidbit about yourself. It's been very interesting, and I highly recommend anybody that wants to learn about the history of diving, different changes in equipment, or any different types of certifications from TDI to SSI to PADI to stop by the shop and see Mark, because he has a lot of wisdom to impart. So thank you, Mark. I really appreciate your time today.
Thank you, Aaron.